So when it comes to beauty, every single year the drugstore gets better and better. And it's not just a little bit better. I feel like they make just these massive steps in quality and formulas and innovation. And it's exciting to see. I've been a drugstore lover ever since I was like 13, first getting into makeup. And even though I still like shopping at Sephora and trying high-end brands, the drugstore just gets me really excited about makeup. And I feel like they're doing such a good job. They have been for a while. So I wanted to share what I think are luxury formulas that you can find at the drugstore. You really don't have to spend 40, 50, 60, $70 on a makeup product to get a beautiful, just like very high quality formula. You can find that at the drugstore these days. And all of these products are, like I said, on the more affordable side. When I think of a luxury quality product, I think of a product that just glides on super smoothly. There's no patchiness. It has like this creamy, buttery feel, or it just makes my makeup process so seamless. And all of the other products I apply on top or underneath apply really well too. Like it just kind of perfects the entire makeup look. Let's start with a few newer launches at the drugstore. I have to say, I've really been enjoying this product from NYX. It is their Lip IV Hydrating Gloss Serum. Now at this point, there are a ton of glossy lip stains on the market. You can find them at all different price points, but I was really impressed by this formula. It just feels different on the lips compared to other glossy formulas I've tried. A lot of glossy stains are very, very thin, and when you initially apply them, they look kind of streaky. And initially, once that glossy layer wears off, you're left with like a nice even stain. But this product goes on very evenly. It has this nice cushion to it, so it feels really plush on the lips. It kind of has a little bit of a cooling sensation that's really comfortable, really refreshing. It's not too over the top, it's just very subtle. So you get this nice, even, glossy, smooth layer. So the product looks amazing as you initially apply it, and then once that glossy layer wears off, you are left with a stain. Now I have two shades. The lighter one doesn't really leave much of a stain, and that's pretty consistent across all different brands. When they do create a glossy lip stain that's on the lighter side, it doesn't stain the lips as well. The darker you get, the more obvious the stain is going to be. They actually have one that's really, really dark. I think it's almost like a black or a violet, and I want to pick that one up because I was watching some videos where people were applying it, and the stain it left behind is so gorgeous. But I like that they offer so many different options. They have 16 different shades. They have a range of nudes, lighter nudes, deeper nudes. They have some reds, some berries. And honestly, the fact that this one doesn't leave behind like a very obvious stain really hasn't stopped me from wearing it. I basically just use it as a super hydrating pigmented gloss. I love the way it feels. It's so comfortable. I love the way it looks. It's just a very beautiful product. It's really enjoyable to use. And this one, it definitely leaves behind a nice stain. So I've tried my fair share of glossy stains, and to be honest, a lot of them work very, very well, but the entire experience when it comes to using this product is so much nicer compared to other brands because you get that cushiony, even feel. I absolutely love these. I do want to pick up maybe another shade or two. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I do wear these two all the time. Hard Candy has been launching some really good products over the last few years. They consistently put out high quality products that I really do think compete with higher end brands, and most of their products are under $10. So I buy my Hard Candy products at Walmart. My Walmart in-store usually does carry the newest launches, but you can also order them online at walmart.com, and then you can order directly from the Hard Candy website. So they just launched two new lipstick formulas. They did a lip blur, which is more of a matte lipstick, and then they also did a lip shine, which is more of a balmy, glossy lipstick. That's what I have on today over a darker lip liner. Let's start with the lip blur. I'm not wearing this on my lips today, but I'll do some lip swatches for you so you can see what it looks like on. This retails for $8, and it does have some really great ingredients like shea butter, grapeseed oil, and avocado oil. So even though it is a matte finish, it's incredibly moisturizing on the lips. It feels so good. It doesn't tug, it doesn't cling to dry areas. It glides on so smoothly and so evenly. The first time I wore this, I was like, that is such a gorgeous formula. And I like a good matte lipstick these days, but a lot of matte lipsticks, they feel a little bit dry, even once you initially apply them and get them on there. And these really don't. They feel incredibly smooth. Because they are very, very moisturizing, they aren't going to be transfer proof by any means. So as you're eating and talking and drinking throughout the day, the lipstick will come off. So I recommend pairing them with a lip liner, but honestly, once that initial layer starts to wear off, I typically still have a lot of color left behind, and it's like even smooth color. This product just wears very well for a non-transfer proof formula. You can wear these a couple of different ways. You can build them up and get a true opaque finish, which is what I typically like to do. too. Or you can apply a little bit and just kind of give yourself like that blotted lip effect. And then on the other side of the product, there is what they call like a little blotter. It's basically a sponge tip applicator that you can use to kind of smooth out the edges if you want more of a smooth, just like diffused finish. So these are really fun, really gorgeous. There are only 5 shades, and I think between the 5, there are some good options to choose from, like a lighter nude, a lighter pink, a red, a berry. The only thing I think they're missing is like a deep nude, and I feel like that would round it out really well. But I do think the formula is stunning. It truly feels like a luxury formula. They also did the lip shine formula. So again, these retail for $8. These are shiny lipsticks. They're so comfortable. They're basically like a lip balm, a lip gloss, and a lipstick all wrapped into one. So again, there are some great ingredients in this product like shea butter, but also rosehip oil and argan oil. So I definitely find these to be even more hydrating than the matte formula. Don't get me wrong, this matte formula is not uncomfortable by any means, but just because these have like that glossy, balmy factor, I find them to be a little bit more pleasant to wear throughout the day. And it comes down to personal preference, but I love a good glossy lip. And this really just eliminates the need to apply 3 different lip products. It's incredibly comfortable, super hydrating. It's very glossy, very smooth, but it has great pigment too. I think the difference between this and like a high shine lipstick is that these can also be applied in more of a sheer way. They definitely have like a full opaque finish if you layer them up, but I feel like so many glossy lipsticks are a little bit too rich for me, and I don't end up reaching for them because I feel like they get really messy, whereas these can be tapped on for more of a lighter look if that's what you're going for too. So I have had so much fun wearing these. They're just beautiful, incredibly comfortable. I'm wearing this one on my lips today. I do have a darker nude lip liner underneath. It was originally supposed to be kind of a natural makeup look, and then I feel like it got dramatic fast. That's typically what happens, but these are stunning if you do like the idea of a glossy, balmy lipstick. Milani has been a favorite brand of mine for years, but I feel like over the past year or two, they have really made it to like the top of my list because they consistently launch products that feel like luxury quality at drugstore prices. Now, Milani's prices have gone up quite a bit this year. I feel like a lot of their new launches are like $15, $16. And while that's still much more affordable than luxury priced products, it can be a little bit pricey for the drugstore. But again, you can use your Ulta points. Typically, the drugstore brands do go on sale. Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty is right around the corner. And I guess they don't typically feature drugstore products in 21 Days of Beauty, but they usually do the spring haul event right after that, and Milani is always included in that sale. So if you feel like their products are still a little bit too high priced, I definitely understand. I think the quality has gone up so much. Not that they had poor quality in the past, but you can always save them to like your loves list, your favorites list, and then once they have a sale, you can grab them then. There's no rush to get any of these products. And don't get me wrong, even though I'm sitting here recommending them, I'm not trying to convince you to go out and buy them. It's my job here on YouTube to review makeup, to share recommendations, but don't feel pressure to buy these products. A lot of these products, I think all of them are like permanent launches, so they will be around for a long time. And if eventually you feel like you could use a new lip product or a new blush or a new, whatever, then that might be a good time to try them out. Anyway, I just want to put that out there because sometimes when I get excited about products and I'm sharing recommendations, I feel like maybe I can come off a little salesy, and that's definitely not what I'm trying to do. I'm really just trying to share recommendations in case you would like to try something new in one of these categories. Okay, that aside, Milani's complexion launches this year have been so good. I actually just saw that they launched a new powder on Ulta's website. I haven't looked too much into it, but I do love their loose powder. I guess technically this came out at the end of last year, and I know I've talked about it a lot on my channel, but as soon as I knew I was filming a video like this product is like one of the first that popped into my mind to include because, again, this is truly a luxury formula. Even the packaging is a little bit nicer. I mean, it's plastic packaging, but I feel like this is something you might even see from a higher end brand. So this is the Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Smoothing Primer. It does come with a built-in applicator, which is just kind of convenient. I don't really use that. I just use my fingers, and I feel like this product applies so beautifully with your fingers if you just smooth it onto the face. It's just such a nice experience using this product, and I think that's partly why it kind of strikes me as a luxury quality product. It has what they call like a whipped souffle texture. It's very light, very airy, so as you smooth it onto the skin, it feels nice. Like there's an elevated experience as you're using it, and not only that, it just preps your skin so well. It's very smoothing, so if you have large pores or a lot of texture, I think you'll like this product a lot. It has some some great ingredients like hyaluronic acid and glycerin, which are meant to really moisturize the skin. And then it has niacinamide, which is supposed to help brighten the skin as well. I don't notice a big difference in the brightening area, but it is a very moisturizing product that feels good. There's a little bit of like a cooling sensation when you initially apply it. So if you have red, irritated skin like me, it just feels extra nice. I think every single complexion product I've layered on top of this primer has looked better when I use this underneath it. Like, it is such a gorgeous formula, one of my all-time favorite products, and I cannot say enough good things about this. I do like pairing it with the new Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Skin Tint Stick. It's not a necessity. You can use these products separately, but they do work really well together too. But I've been blown away by this. I've never really fallen in love with a skin tint stick like I have this one. To be honest, I initially skipped over it when I saw it on Ulta's website because anything with the words skin tint don't usually appeal to me. I feel like they either don't have enough coverage or they don't last on my oily skin. And then I decided to try it out because honestly, I was looking to try some new drugstore makeup and review it on my channel. That's part of my job. And I was like, maybe, Milani really does tend to be one of my favorite brands. Maybe I'll end up loving it. And I really, really do. This is the perfect light to medium coverage foundation. And you can sheer it out to get like a true light natural finish, but you can also build it up to get kind of like a high medium coverage finish. It builds perfectly. It never looks cakey. It never feels heavy. And I wouldn't really recommend like going in and trying to get like full coverage with this product because it's not really meant to be used in that way. But there are days where I get more of a full coverage finish if I just kind of spot conceal either before or after using this. The reason why I love this is because it's so comfortable. It doesn't feel like you're wearing anything heavy on the skin. It evens out your complexion really, really well, and it does stay in place well for me. I would say it has a satin leaning matte finish. You can definitely adjust it based on what you wear underneath. When I use it with this product, I get more of like that true matte finish because this does create more of a matte smooth base. But if I use a super glowy primer underneath, because this is a lighter coverage product, that glow will shine through. So it's very adaptable, which I love. You can use it in so many different ways, and I've used a good amount of this already. I'm excited to wear this in the spring and the summertime because it is so lightweight and so pretty on the skin. I feel like it will be perfect for those really hot, humid days, although I don't know if it will hold up as well in the summer. We'll see. I mean, it wears really well on my skin right now, but it's been super cold where I live, and even though I have oily skin, it's not quite as oily as it can be during the summer, but I have a feeling I'll be loving it during the summer just because it is so quick and easy and so light and pretty on the skin. This is a little bit of an older launch from Milani. I talked about it a lot when they first came out with this product, and I like to bring it up on my channel from time to time because I feel like it is one of their most underrated launches. And if you are a fan of like a one and done shadow, if you like a cream eyeshadow stick, this is the formula to try. I have a ton of cream eyeshadow sticks or eyeshadow crayons in my makeup collection. There was like a time period when every brand was launching them, even though it didn't seem like they were super popular. I think it was last year, or maybe it was the year before, but I did try out quite a few formulas because I tend to like to use a formula like this as eyeliner. But I'm telling you, this is the best formula out of all of the eyeshadow crayons on the market. It's just so creamy, so gorgeous, and it stays in place extremely well. So on my eyes today, I literally just have like one matte shadow in the crease and then another shade on the brow bone to kind of tone it down a little bit. And then I have two of these eyeshadow crayons all over my eyes. So I have the shade Sterling, which is the green, all over the lid, and then I ran it on my lower lash line and my waterline. And then I took a little bit of sand on like the inner third of my lid just to kind of add a pop of gold. I do have a highlighter from Rare Beauty on the inner corner, and then I have like a green eyeliner from Urban Decay, but all over the lid, I have these, and these are just so easy to work with. They're so creamy. You can just draw them directly on the eye, and then you can blend them out with your finger or a brush. I just take my finger and kind of tap them in, and they're so easy to layer up. So you can get a super sheer kind of light wash of color, or you can really easily build them up, which is what I love. This green color I feel like is pretty if you want more of a subtle look, but they do have some deeper shades if you like a one and done smoky shadow. This deeper brown is in the shade Terra, which is so, so stunning. And again, I love using these as eyeliner. They're really fun if you want like a pop of metallic liner on the lower lash line because you can just easily apply these and they stay in place so, so well. I'm telling you, these are so quick and easy to work with. The only potential con is that they only have shimmers. They don't have any matte shadows. So if you like more of a matte look, you might want to skip over these. But what's nice is you can actually like smudge these out. So there's time to work with them, which is great. And then once they dry down, they do not move. They're locked in whether you're using them as eyeshadow or as eyeliner. When I think of luxury at the drugstore, I always think of this product. It is one of the best drugstore dupes to ever exist, in my opinion. It is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. So this is very, very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. And in my opinion, e.l.f. took that product and they made it even better. The Hollywood Flawless Filter is fine. I tried it years ago and I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but my makeup style has changed. And I feel like if I tried it in 2025, I'd probably like it, but I really have no reason to try it because this formula is so good. From what I remember of that product, it wasn't quite as creamy as this one. At this point, you can find so many products like this on the market. Like pretty much every brand has done their version of the Hollywood Flawless Filter, or they've done like a glowy base product, but this, it just feels like a luxurious formula. It blends into the skin in 2 seconds. It is so smooth, incredibly creamy. It looks amazing under makeup, mixed into foundation, on top of makeup. Even the packaging feels luxurious. That's the one thing about drugstore makeup. These drugstore brands have definitely figured out how to nail down what feels like a luxurious formula, but they definitely don't get there most of the time in terms of packaging. And I don't think they really even try to, because to, create that like beautiful, luxurious experience within packaging as well, that's obviously going to drive up the cost. And most drugstore brands do tend to keep their products more affordable. I don't have anything against cheaper packaging. I just want it to be functional. I want it to last. And sometimes drugstore packaging can break super easily, but I have to say everything about this, from like the beautiful glass bottle to the weight of it, to the applicator, to the formula, to the way it looks on the skin, and the way products apply on top of this, like just screams luxury to me. It is $14, but that is still significantly less expensive than like the $50 price point of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Highly recommend this if you're still considering it and you like the idea of a multi-use glowy product. Now, speaking of like poor quality packaging, I really feel like this packaging could be a little bit better, but the formula inside really blows a lot of luxury quality products out of the water. This is from e.l.f. It's their primer infused matte bronzer and then matte blush. So these retail for $7 each. They both come with 6 different shades, and it has ingredients like vitamin E, jojoba seed oil. So you really do get that incredibly smooth, flawless formula. I've really never tried a bronzer as smooth as this one, and this one is $7. They had this bronzer for a while. Like this is an old product, and then they ended up like slowly discontinuing all of the shades, and then they redid the shades. So now they have 6 different options. Same with the blush, and the blush formula is the exact same. I only have one blush and one bronzer, but I'm telling you, this feels like a luxury formula in pretty cheap packaging. They're both so smooth, very long lasting. And at first I was like, is that primer infused term kind of like a gimmicky term? But it isn't. This product is incredibly easy to blend out. It is so smooth, so creamy, but it holds its pigmentation well. Sometimes very blendable products almost blend away to nothing. That's not the case with these. These are very rich, very pigmented. They also stay in place really, really well on the skin. Whether you've prepped your skin really well with a primer or you're wearing a long-lasting foundation, these really don't fade throughout the day. So I have been so impressed by these. They really are gorgeous formulas. And if you can overlook the cheap packaging, I mean, I broke mine within like a month of having it. It's still functional though. If you can overlook that, highly recommend these. Another gorgeous blush formula that you can also get for $7 is this one from Catrice. So these are the Blush Affair cream and powder palettes. You actually get 2 different products within here. You get a cream blush and then a powder blush. And a lot of people were comparing these to Patrick Ta when they initially launched. They're not the same as the Patrick Ta blush duos, but I do feel like in some ways they're actually a little bit better. The powder blush is gorgeous. Again, very smooth, kind of similar to that e.l.f. blush, maybe more on the powdery side, but pretty rich, pretty pigmented. You can build it up to get a pretty intense look as well. And they do have some more vibrant duos. And then the cream is definitely different than Patrick Ta. It's almost more of like a stiff formula. So when you touch it, it doesn't really feel like it's going to be the easiest product to work with because it is a little bit thicker, but that's because it is a very rich formula and it blends out really easily. You don't have to use a lot of this by any means. You can go in with a brush, you can use a sponge to get a little bit more of a sheer application, but these are really rich, really gorgeous, and they last extremely well. You can layer them up if you want to do cream and then powder on top. I've worn them the opposite way as well, like the Patrick Ta method of powder and then cream, and honestly, they do work both ways. But because this is a little bit of a heavier cream, I typically do recommend using cream and then powder on top if you are going to go in and layer them. But if you're looking for a rich, vibrant blush, this is the formula to try, the duos to try. They're so gorgeous. They have 4 different options. They have like a bright pink, kind of like this warmer pink. They have a light peach, and then the one that's my favorite is Peach Passion, which is kind of like a rosy nude. I find it so interesting that Catrice can launch such a high quality blush duo at $7, and some of the high-end brands and some of the luxury brands can't really even compete with that, and they're charging like $30, $40 for a blush. The lip balm market has absolutely exploded. Like back in the day when I wanted a lip balm, I would just go to the drugstore and grab like any random lip balm. And at this point, you can find lip balms at all different price points, drugstore, high-end, luxury even. And I do think it is a category of makeup or a category of beauty where you really don't have to splurge on a luxury price lip balm to get high quality. This formula from Provence Beauty truly feels the exact same as so many of my higher end lip balms. It smells absolutely amazing. It has this like soft vanilla scent, which I love. The applicator even feels so similar to those higher end applicators that I love, like Summer Fridays, where it's like that kind of rubbery, soft, bendy tip. And that's something that I really do look for in a lip balm, because if it's something that you're reapplying multiple times throughout the day, it's just kind of nice to have a super comfortable applicator that you love to use. It has the perfect amount of cushion to it. It's not too thin where it feels like it's going to wear off super quickly, but it also doesn't feel like a super thick lip mask, which I do like formulas like that. But I feel like for day to day, as I'm like out running errands, I do typically like something kind of in between that feels nice that I can reapply throughout the day. And this has a gorgeous glossy finish. The only thing is I wish it came in multiple shades, and maybe they'll end up doing that eventually. But in the meantime, I'm loving this one so much. And I do recommend picking this up if you like a brand like Summer Fridays, because this feels the exact same. Actually, Essence launched a lip balm recently too. I wouldn't say this is as nice as the Provence Beauty one, but if you do prefer something a little bit more affordable that you can get at Ulta, this is a nice option. The Provence Beauty one comes with what is it, 0.5 fluid ounces, and Essence comes with 0.33. So there is a little bit less in here. And because this is slightly thinner, I feel like you'll end up going through this a lot faster. I also don't like the applicator quite as much, but it is something that I wanted to mention because the formula is great. It's made with peptides, shea butter, vitamin E. It definitely leaves my lips feeling really moisturized, even once it wears off. And again, it's not super thick, so it doesn't last an incredibly long time on the lips, but it's a good, easy daily lip balm, especially if you want to reapply multiple times throughout the day. I saw on Instagram that Essence is coming out with tinted versions of this. I don't know if they're coming to the US. Essence usually launches in Europe first, and I think it's part of the spring summer collection, so I hope we see the tinted versions at Ulta over the next few months. I do love the clear one. It's great, but I feel like a soft like peach or a pink would be really fun too. The last product I wanted to mention is a lip liner, and honestly, there are a million good lip liners at the drugstore. This is a category where I don't typically splurge on a high-end or luxury formula because I just feel like there isn't really a need to. There are so many good formulas that you can get for under $20, under $15. This formula from About Face is one of my absolute favorites. So I don't know if you technically consider About Face to be more of a drugstore brand. I feel like their prices can vary. Some of them do fall into what I would consider like drugstore pricing, and then some are more so like mid-range prices. But again, this brand does go on sale on Ulta's website pretty frequently throughout the year, so that's when I typically stock up on some of my favorites, like the Matte Fix Lip Pencil. It looks like all of the shades I own are the exact same, but I swear they're different shades of nude. I love these for like easy everyday looks. So I think I'm wearing this one today. I accidentally put it with the rest of them. This is the shade After Party. And then, like I said, I have that hard candy lipstick on top, but these are so creamy, but they dry down. They're also very, very richly pigmented. I have some really creamy liners I love, but as I apply them to the lips, I feel like they almost sheer out a little bit. Like they don't have that intense pigment as I'm drawing them on. But because these are so rich and creamy, like they're very intense as you're drawing them on the lips, but they still glide on super easily. And then once they dry down, they do not move. They definitely have like a true matte finish. So they're really nice to wear on their own. Sometimes I'll kind of top them with a lipstick or a lip gloss, but I like that they are truly long lasting lip liners. There's like a little bit of time to work with them, but not much. I mean, you saw that I just applied it. They're not fully dry, but like they're not going anywhere. They also have a great shade range. There are 23 different options, and as you can see, I mainly go for like the nudes. They have lighter nudes, deeper nudes, but they also have like dark colors. If you want a red or a berry, they will have it. So highly recommend that formula if you're looking for a very long lasting, high quality formula at a drugstore price. That is it from me for today's video. Those are all of the products I wanted to talk about. If you guys like this style of video, I have a couple of other ones on my channel. I'll link them in the description box below and on the screen if you want even more drugstore recommendations that I absolutely love. Thank you so much for watching and being here. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye.